you guys are, of course, familiar with the Poké Rap, which is the famous rapping the Pokemon that exist. And then there's, of course, you're also familiar with the Zubat variant, where it's just Zubat, 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 Zubat. Well, the Zubat, this is that with Wurmple. This is that with the Wurmple. Because it's all Wurmple all the time, baby. Here it is. Here's the Wurmps. Here's the Wurmps. You know it. You love it. The Wurmps. They can't be killed. Well, they can be killed many times, but they always come back. Just like something that dies and comes back. Hi, guys. Hi, I'm Mr. Red. I'm losing it a little bit. It's been one of those days, you know. It's still the same day as the other day, and you know, you just get stressed about work, and then you're like, I don't want to be stressed about work, and then you're like, I'll play a fun game, and then you're like, oh, I have to just fight this stupid Wurmple thing over and over again, and it never ends, and it just keeps going, and it never stops. It never stops. Speaking of Stardew Valley, if you guys know how to get energy back, besides sleeping, that'd be great, because I feel like I'm just wasting a lot of time. Like, oh, it's 9:30 in the morning, but I've used all of my energy mining rocks, so time to go to bed. Because you wake up at 6 o'clock in that game. If you know how to not do that, let me know. I would appreciate. I wouldn't hate, I would appreciate. And that would help me a lot. And I want to get that out there early so that I can get comments about it if you know about them. Oh, and I know there's food, but like I don't have any, and I know you can make food, but I don't want to because I don't get enough stuff with which to do that yet because I'm not making stuff with farming. But let me know. Okay, so this Voltorb took out my entire Wurmple 3 without using self-destruct. What makes it use self-destruct? I just want to know. And if you've told me, I don't know, because I haven't got there yet. I'm still in your past. Speaking of the past, guess what I just watched recently? It's a movie that came out in the past. Boom, what a segue. Guys, Endgame, Marvel's Avengers, Disney's Endgame just came out, and I'm going to talk about it. So here's some music playing underneath that I made, and if you don't want to hear, the music hasn't started yet. If you don't want to hear that spoilers or anything, go to like fast forward until, and actually here's a little thing on the screen too, so you can see. Once that goes away and once the music stops, you can listen again, because I don't know when that'll be. And to begin. Hello, people who care about or who want to know about spoilers for whatever. Hi, how are you? This is a nice little zone just for us. There it is. There's the self-destruct. So yeah, I liked Endgame a lot. I really, really liked Endgame a lot. Like, holy beans, did I love that movie. It was so cool. Ah, man, it was awesome. I thought it was just so cool and so awesome that it ruined my ability to say things about the movie that weren't just that it were cool and awesome. But I think I'm about getting over that because I'm about to say more things. It was so cool and so awesome. Nope, still broken. I'm back in. I just thought, how awesome and cool was it that they went back in time to the other movies that there were. Like, they went back to the Avengers, the original The Avengers from 2012, and they went to, well, Thor: The Dark World, which, but they also went back to Guardians of the Galaxy, which is such a cool movie, and it was so good. I just thought it was great. I thought it was great. I loved it, and I wish that there was more of it. I know it was 3 hours long, but I want to keep watching. I similar to what I was complaining about with Game of Thrones the other day, which, very minor spoiler for that, I wanted there to be a higher body count than there ended up being in both Endgame and Game of Thrones. However, there was not. So I thought it was okay. As far as I can tell, there were 2 characters in Endgame. I'm not talking about Game of Thrones anymore. Who are finished, like who are like, this is the end for me, the end game. Ooh, and that was one. Obviously, Iron Man. He died. We're in the spoiler zone, so everybody should be familiar. and Captain America, who went back to live with Peggy, which I loved that ending for him. I thought it was so good. He's gonna use super potion. And I love the idea of finalizing a character's arc without killing them, because I've talked about how that I've talked about on this show many years ago. I talked about how the end game of many characters always seems to be death, because like that's the final thing, right? That's how you finish a character's arc, because if they don't, I got a notification from Reddit, which is like a message, and I was like, who's messaging me on Reddit? But it's just some nonsense. But yeah, and what was I saying? Endgames of characters being death, and I liked ending a character's arc without killing them, even though, he's old, so who knows. But I'm just saying, boy, Wurmple 5 is hanging in there. What I'm saying? Maybe I should send out Wurmple 5 instead of Wurmple 3 next time. Okay, we'll do that. But for now, we'll send out Wurmple 6. Wurmple 6 can do it, right? We all believe in Wurmple 6. Oh. Yeah, I thought it was nice. And just what else? There were more character deaths that were natural instead of like they brought back everyone, which of course they did. What is there to say about the movie? That's what I'm concerned about. Like, what do I say? Like, oh, I thought this part, and I thought that. I liked Hulk, Professor Hulk. I thought that was nice. He was so lame though. Like they deliberately made him super lame. Like he was dabbing, and everyone was playing. Thor as well. Thor was so funny. I liked Overweight Thor. Oh, that's one issue that I had. Like one little like, maybe I would have done something different if I were in charge. Which is, he was like overweight during the movie, and the joke was like, am I still talking about Endgame? Is there still spoilers? Maybe I'll stop that soon. But he was overweight and after the 5-year break, and then he was that way through the whole movie. I wish that at the end, when he had used his Thor lightning to become the ultimate Thor, he would have, I think that's what it is. I don't know comics that well. Sorry. He would have become fit again, thin and Norse godlike. That's what I was thinking. But fine that it didn't ruin the movie at all. I thought it was so good. I liked seeing it. I want to see it again many more times. Maybe. Maybe I'll go tonight. We'll see if I end this. Let me check. Well, let me check the Flickster app. But no, I probably won't. So yeah, that will be. That was it. That was basically Endgame. The spoilers are over. I really enjoyed the movie. If that was before the spoiler section, whoops, it was supposed to be after. I'm getting my bootay handed to me by this Magnatane, which I don't like. How are you? How are you guys doing? Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. I think everyone should go see it. I wonder. So it's definitely again, we're not spoiling anything anymore. It's definitely a part 2 to Infinity Wars Part 1. I don't think you can see one without the other for obvious reasons. But I think you should watch both. Infinity War is on Netflix. If you haven't seen it yet, give it a watch, and then go to the theater and see Endgame. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway. Yeah, so what friggin' else is there to talk about? I mean, like, how are you? How are you fans? How are you viewers? Yeah, that's about it, right? I mean, like, we died again. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna Nintendo Switch these two Pokemon. I definitely want to put. If you weren't watching during the spoiler zone, I want to change Wurmple 5 to my first Pokemon. And then put Wurmple 3. Well, Wurmple, it doesn't matter, because Wurmple 5 goes up first, and then the rest I can switch to. And the reason I'm doing that is because Wurmple 5 can take more hits of damage, and will probably be able to destroy that Electrike before Electrike destroys it, which is what happened last time. And I'm gonna save before I'm done here. Boom. So that I can just get out when I need to. Get Out was a good movie. Us was a good movie. Did I talk about that on the show? I probably did. What episode is this? Can I pause real quick? Yes, I can. I know that I can. Okay, so I've recorded the Mortal Kombat episodes that are coming out concurrent to this before, and so now I am thinking about when there's an episode coming up in which I talk about the timeline of the Mortal Kombat series. Not the series itself, but like my playthrough of it. And I made a note that in the next episode of Wurmple Challenge, talk about the timeline that I just talked about in the last episode of Mortal Kombat. And that's in the future, so I'm not there yet. Time. So I don't know if I should talk about it now or not. I decided to mention it here because I needed something to talk about, and I thought I would talk about that. But I'm thinking that I'll spoil it, I guess, who cares. There will be 10 episodes of Mortal Kombat 11 unless it gets a huge response and people are like, ooh, I really want this, then there will probably be more. Then I'll go back to Shovel Knight, finish that. Once that's done, I think I'm going to take, not a break in terms of like Wurmple Challenge stuff, but I'm going to take a break from other series, and I'm just going to focus on the Wurmple Challenge. I want there to be like an episode a day of that. And then, well, that will be, about that time will be summer break for me. So if I have more time to do episodes, I might be able to do 2 episodes a day instead of just 1, which will be good. But it's interesting in terms of Patreon. Patreon.com/MrRedBlaze. What'll happen there? I don't know. We'll figure it out, cross that bridge when we come to it. Well, I guess that's about it. Guys, thank you for watching. Like I mentioned about Patreon, go to it. I'll see you there, and that'll be a good place for us to hang out together, because we're friends. We're all friends here, and we like to hang out and have fun and play Pokemon, even though it's stupid Wurmple. Bye, everybody.